Hello and welcome to the Valocity Kerbside Housing Market Report for July 2019. Let's start with looking at value movement. So here we're seeing a trend which has been much the same for the past 6 months now, which is the main urban TAs with a stalling rate of growth and the regions in a catch-up effect mode. So those main urban centres, Auckland, still declining, down 2.2% year on year. We see Christchurch still flat, unchanged from this time a year ago. We see the likes of Tauranga, Hamilton, 5.5%, so ticking along relatively well. The one exception being Wellington, which is still very strong, and Dunedin, 17% value growth, so a strong Dunedin market. Outside of that regional catch-up effect, we still have 8 TAs with more than 20% annual growth. We are starting to see that rate of growth though start to slow. If we look at a 3-month window, we're seeing 14 TAs that actually experienced a decline in their rate of growth over the last 3 months. So that catch-up effect is starting to slow down a wee bit. Let's now look at who's playing in the game, so registration type breakdown. And again here, the trend much unchanged from the last 6 months. So first home buyers being the most active group, circa 29% of new mortgage registrations. Investors unchanged, 15.5%, 16% nationwide. And movers, 12-13%. So no real change in the trend there. We are still seeing the impact of that first home buyer being the predominant buyer group in the market as they seek the more affordable housing option with an over representation of the lower price brackets transacting. Given we're now midwinter, we took a special report looking at the winter effect between the years of 2006 and 2019 in the Auckland housing market. We wanted to look into whether there was any truth to the age-old adage that you should never sell a home during winter. We did that by looking at 2 key market variables, sales volumes and the median sale price, between the winter months and pre and post the winter months. The impact on sales volumes was noticeable every year throughout the period, so from the 3 months before winter and the 3 months of winter, we saw a drop away which averaged 1,200 sales throughout the period. In terms of median sale price, yes, there was an increase between the 3 months of winter and the 3 months post-winter in Auckland, but it was an increase which had a median value of only $15,000 difference each year across the period. So in the context of the Auckland housing market, we're not talking a huge difference in sale price. Now, anecdotally, if you were to list during the winter months, you often find an environment with less listings on the market, so you may produce a reduced days to sell if you do choose to sell during the winter period. So it does begin to disprove the myth that you should never sell a home during the winter months. And now to the often asked questions of what's going to happen next and what does this mean for me? Let's take a look at 4 key overarching variables there. So what may happen to the housing market? What may happen to the wider New Zealand property market? What does that mean for a home owner? And what does that mean for a potential home buyer? In terms of what may happen to the residential housing market for the remainder of 2019, looking at the value levels, so we expect a similar trend to continue. So the main urban TAs to continue to experience softening or plateauing value growth. Auckland probably declining will carry on, maybe coming up to an even keel by the end of the year. In terms of the regional smaller TAs, we expect that rate of growth or the rate of that catch-up effect to slow down. Moving to sales volume, so again, anticipate the declining trend to carry on throughout the year. Ending the year for 2019 with an overall similar number of sales that we saw in 2018. Building consent, so we expect the record numbers of consents to continue. We would challenge though 2 questions there. We should focus more on what's being built and where are they being built over the actual total number of consents being issued.